Hello everyone, welcome to the Watch Poplars. Today, I want to go to this creek because I saw this place yesterday. Passed by. I had no time to go see it up close because I was hurrying for a bus stop. But now I am, wasting time exploring. And here, this is what looks like a Clarkia, and it is in the Primulaceae family of primroses, or it could be it could be Onagraceae of evening primroses, which is one reason why common names suck for plants. Now, I don't know if there's a way to get down here, but there's a lot of whether they're native or not. I just thought I was so curious because I did even see a cucumber plant somewhere over there. But here is a mallow. This is a non-native mallow. This is Malva. Oh wait, no. I'm not familiar with this species of mallow. I don't know what the genus is. It could, but I'm guessing it's Malva because it doesn't look like hibiscus. But you can see that, it does definitely have a hibiscus-like flower because it is in Malvaceae. Now I'll take pictures of that for further research after I am done. But then, here are the old seed pods, and they have turned to seed. And so this, you can see that's a structure. These little things, they're kind of hardened into a disc, but you can break them up, and then you can see the individual seeds. They look kind of like rolled up roly-polies. There's also a palm seedling here. It's going to cause problems. Huge problem with the landscaping here also. I'm going to insult the city of Walnut Creek for their very shitty landscaping. I've seen over 10,000 crepe myrtles here. I've seen way too many lawns in way too many unnecessary places. And it's not a place anyone would want to live, at least in my opinion. But that is a very sour view on the world. But I wanted to see if there is a way down. I do not want to go down in there because that looks really fucking sketchy, and I don't want to disturb anyone who is living here. But it does not look like I'm not going under there. I'm trying to stay out in the sun, unlike I usually do, to see and frolic in the plants. And here is Epilobium brachycarpum onagraceae. It has 4 petals, but they are all split in 2. This is a native. It is a weedy native. So, for any of you unfortunate souls who have backyards that look like concrete, I'll give you some plants that are native and that will thrive and beautify your garden. Now, your yard doesn't have to look like concrete for these plants to thrive. You can have any garden. These can grow in soil. But, why I'm saying concrete is because the willow herb here and this Erigeron canadensis, they love growing in disturbed areas, and that makes them grow rootarily, in cracks in pavement where this place is a trapezoidal cutout for water to flow through. It is not natural. and the soil was disturbed, and all of these plants here have taken off here because, and most of them are invasive, non-natives, because this is the best land for them to take off, and it's in disturbed areas. So it used to just be flat, and it was just trapezoidally cut. Now, I think I would have a better chance going across the bridge and going over there. I got my punk shoes. I wear these whenever I'm out in the city. Because if any curious onlooker sees them, they're gonna know what kind of person I am. And I'm not afraid of that. So here's the garden. It's a really beautiful garden. Oh my god. Okay, so this willow herb here. There's a willow herb like the epilobium. Hold on. Oh, nice. There's a hole here. And there's a bigger hole back there, but So, oh my god, wow. I did not. So these are annuals. This Epilobium brachycarpum is an annual, and apparently it can grow at least 2 meters tall when very happy. And at that point, its flowers are large. But, back at my house, there's a few very small individuals. They only get that tall. And they don't really form as many branches. But the flowers are a lot smaller. Now, there is no way for me to get across. But are there plants here that are not growing on the other side? I don't know. I'll just go to the other side. But anyway, as I was saying, this is the garden. There's a species of, in fact, it is an aster. Those large leaves. Oh, it's something spinosus, I think. There's like they almost looks like some kind of amaranth. They look like they should be some kind of amaranth, an amaranthaceae, but they're not. And I mean, there's more. Right in the middle, right there. There's more. But there's a fucking cucumber vine here with a square foot surface area of leaves, which is insane for, cucumbers. There's huge leaves over there. There is probably one individual, or I don't know, maybe a few, and they're covering a huge area with the vines. I don't know how, or, it got there. Yeah. But there's a equisetum, which is these little rods, and then there's the cattails, and I think the cattails, I don't think they're in Poaceae. I mean, they might be. It's just the flower structure, as you can see, is it doesn't look like a grass. But even though a lot of people do call cattails a grass, because pretty much anything that has very long, skinny, slender leaves is a grass, and it is a very horrible thing to assume. And it is uneducated. But, there's butterflies everywhere because there's purple flowers and stuff. I'll have to look at what that is. It looks really nice. But I'm doing things that no one else would do. No one else would want to go down here because they think it's dirty. They think, But it's for the curious. I mean, there's private property right there. But that's not where I'm going. I'm going this way. But here, this is lovely. This is what you need in your garden. Now, this may not be native, but this is a native to North America. And I mean, it may not be Clarkia. It's definitely not Clarkia. But it's in the same family as Clarkia. It has a 4-part stigma with these, you know, things coming out in 4 directions. And then, how many stamens? I'm missing 6. Yeah, it looks like 6 stamens. And a 4-part stigma that kind of goes out like that. Yeah, and then there's a non-native salvia, leucantha, here in full bloom. It's, you know, an escaped ornamental, but we can explore more. It looks like there was a valley oak planted there. That's nice. Quercus lobata. There's a dead amaranth. There is a grass native to North America that has similar looking growth. Flat, on one plane, just only alternate, not whorl form at all. But I want to know, because I am not in private property. You know, the crest, it's not fenced off. You can see where the slope ends right there. There is like an invisible fence right there. That flat part is private property. There's invasive rumex, is a scientific name, but everyone calls it dock. This is bitter dock. This looks like Rumex obtusifolius. Now there are a lot of varieties of dock, and some of them form more horizontal branches. They grow shorter, and they look more like a Japanese tree or something, like a Japanese pine tree, or I don't know. As in structure of like the inflorescences, but others look like poplars. They have a very upward structure. Now that one's probably a different kind. These more bolder ones are probably obtusifolius. And I think the more slender ones like that is conglomeratus. Now these are in Polygonaceae, which is the buckwheat family. And it's too hard to tell because it's so spent. But maybe further in where it's wet, maybe they're still more fresh. They haven't just completely died. These are annuals, I think. No, they're maybe they're biennials. I mean, I could try ripping one out. They don't. Okay, they're not coming out. They could still be annuals, but oh. Okay, this looks like Silphium. It's in the Asteraceae family. It just hasn't produced a massive spike of flowers. And they get up to like, these Silphiums, if that is what it is, it doesn't actually look like that. I think these are a different kind of rumex. No? No. It's a brassica. I don't know what kind of brassica this is, but it is all brassicas have 4 petals. It has a broccoli structure, but broccoli has been cultivated to get very bold, fat, and large. Now, speaking of broccoli, kale, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, they're all the same thing. It's just the one species of brassica has been cultivated to form different, to exaggerate different parts of the plant. The sprouts, the flower stalks, or the leaves. Now, what is this pink flowered? This is like an herbaceous, or I don't know. What family is this in? Doesn't look. It does not look familiar. It doesn't. It smells kind of nice. I don't know what it is, but there's Conia maculatum, which is growing up there. And so maybe they do need to die back earlier in the summer. But they do. They can stay green the whole year. Oh wait, no. I thought this was some kind of helianthus. It has a very, very rough texture, probably to ward off herbivores from eating it. It has a slight fragrance of what I think is like some kind of rubber and bubblegum mixed together. And there is a kind of rubber that kind of smells like bubblegum. When it is, I don't know. when it has friction. I have no idea. I forgot the scientific name of the cat. Oh yeah, it is wind pollinated. So by doing this, these are all the stamens. Now they're falling off, and all this. People sneeze everywhere when they're passing by this, which is probably why yesterday, to my dismay, I saw someone hacking away a bunch of this native cattails, and they weren't doing anything. They weren't invading the path. Allergies are allergies. All right, if the plant is native, I mean, just don't plant it in your garden. If you see a plant, just make sure you stay upwind from it. Or just go around it. It's simple as that. You don't plow it out of your way. The dogs are going crazy. This is the same genus as the Santa Barbara daisy. It's a wide genus in Asteraceae, and they grow up to 2 meters tall in the right conditions, which it is in right now. Oh, well, also there's Ipomea in Convolvulaceae. There are native morning glories, but there's also not native morning glories. I'm going to assume that these are not native, because that is safe. Because they do not. I'm not going to assume at all, actually. I'm just going to assume that those are peaceful. Not non-native, not native. I don't know. All I know is that they're peaceful, not aesthetically. But anyway, what is that? In Verbinaceae, Lamiales. Now there's a whole bunch of ticks in here. I bet they love all of this stuff. And preferably, what would benefit this place a lot is if people, certified people, not firemen. I'm not the fire department, because the fire department, someone who really knows how to burn an area to revive the vegetation the next year, to recycle the dead stuff, should come here and just kind of controllably, burn it all, having a hose ready. I have no idea. There's probably a spigot somewhere here. But what is that? That looks like that's a verbena. That's a massive verbena. Not native. It's an herbaceous perennial in Verbinaceae of the mint order Lamiales. And somewhere down in there I see Mentha pugilium, and supposedly it can cause liver failure. Now, I have eaten quite a bit of it before, and I had no symptoms. I am a hardy person, but I'm not going to take my chances. I mean, I have eaten it. I know, and probably in larger amounts, yes, it definitely does cause damage. Like everything does. If you drink too much water, you can die. Either because the balance is too disproportionate, or it just starts messing with, with other parts, or you just get too heavy. You get I don't know, but if you drink too much water, you're gonna start throwing it up. It's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be neat. Okay, so yeah, this grass, there's no way why it would be acting like this. All this fuzzy green stuff is invasive Bermuda grass, I think. It's just pygmied because of not only the dry weather, but it's a rhizomatous grass. It roots along as it grows, but it is also, it's in full sun. This is a very full sun area. Very exposed. It has wet feet, probably somewhere if it has deep roots. I have never been in one of these culverts before. Like in an unfamiliar place, such as Pleasant Hill. Now, yeah, this is interesting. This is native to North America also. Now, people would always say it's a weed. Because not so long ago, I would have thought all of these were weeds. But, once you actually do some research and you get curious, you go down there and you have a look at, you get really close up, you see the differences in flower structure, you see you make an effort to see if there's any resemblance to these actual individual flower buds to anything that you are familiar with. That's the way to go. That's the way that we should all go. Not saying that we should all be into plant sciences, and I think my phone is overheating, I'm not sure. But yeah. So I don't know what these plants are, but I'll be going here in fall. My college is right there. And I'll be collecting seed from this and growing it out of curiosity. But it does look like in the drier areas where it's farther from the water, it is getting fall colors. It's fading. It turns yellow. There's an ant. But yeah, what lives in there? A lot of rats. I don't know. Now, during a good year, such as 2023, best year I've ever lived so far, because of the weather. I would be underwater. The water would be maybe my head would be poking out. I don't know, but all of this would just been flattened by the water. It really cleaned it up, but it also washed a bunch of trash in. And then there's this grass. And is it ripe? The stalk is still green. I think it is seeding. It is. It's an herbaceous perennial. It's a bunch grass. It's forming clumps. And looks like someone tied it up here. I think maybe it got planted here. I have no idea. No idea. It kind of looks like it was like planted here because there's some tied up, like, I don't know why. Maybe it could be native, but I don't know. I'm just gonna have to do some research and take a picture of the grass and the structure of the grass. I'm very curious because I don't know what it is. What is the grass? But I want to go closer to the shade for a little bit, risking the ticks. I have definitely missed my bus, but I am fine leaving because that would allow me some time to steal seeds from the very few harmless non-native plants used in the horrible landscaping here. I don't see any ticks. You can, believe it or not, see ticks on the bushes. But I'll find out when I get home. So it gets very wet down here. And the grass stays green. I feel like a sketchy person now. But that's fine. I know people are looking at me like I'm a psychopath. And if they hear me saying that, they're gonna just turn away and like saying, God damn it. But now I'm embarrassed. I don't know. That's what I hope. I don't know. But here is another weedy native. There's a bird that died here. Well, this is a weed, a succulent. What family is it in? Does it bleed latex? It doesn't look like it bleeds latex, so it's not in Euphorbiaceae. Although it does have it looks kind of like Euphorbiaceae. I'm not sure. But here's Epilobium ciliatum. Oh, it's humid. Oh, it's very humid. Oh, the transpiration. But here, Epilobium ciliatum onagraceae. There are some flowering right here. Look how tall this is. How, I don't know how you can see this, or I don't know, but look, it's very tall. You know, there's very happy stuff. There are non-native alfalfa, sedge, this, I don't know, a whole bunch of herbaceous perennials and annuals, and a fucking cucumber vine. Oh my god. Look, are there cucumbers in there? This is a very healthy vine. There's one cucumber forming. Is it the kind that it's when it is ripe, it squirts seeds out in a wet, sticky substance? You know, it looks kind of lewd, honestly. And I did. Oh, and I'll just move on. But anyway, you know, this is a nice ladybug. So this is an amaranth. They have like spear-shaped leaves. A lot of them, like leaves, they look like that. They often form branches very readily. Now, probably everything I'm holding here, all these amaranth branches are from probably one individual. They grow huge. I don't know, and I'm not going to assume anymore. But you know, the fuzzy stuff you see down here is the Epilobium ciliatum. And they have fuzzy seeds. And I think, you know, the whole genus of Epilobium does form fuzzy seeds, but not like cottonwood seeds. Now these willow herbs, they bloom from like April to, I've seen them blooming until November. So yeah, they have a very wide range of blooming, but they do get red fall colors when they die back. And they're often blooming as they're dying back. You can see in the drier climate, oh wait, no, that's not the same thing. That's the Clarkia, whatever it is. That's dying back and turning red. Same family. Same pigments in the leaves when they die back. Now the sedge. Carex. This is Carex. And it has seeds, but I don't know how native or what it is, but I'll have to do some research. If you don't have Siri knowledge, if you don't notice that little information, little icon on your phone when you take a picture of a plant and you look at the picture, then you could always I tell you that Wikipedia is probably the number one place I recommend when you're looking for plant knowledge. You know, like articles. But then there's iNaturalist, where you can like view like other people's. I'm not gonna talk very loudly because it's amplified here. Yeah, so iNaturalist is where you can see other people's posts of stuff that they find. There's moss. The moss doesn't last long here. Any moss that's here on the sand is since winter, since spring, because, you know, it just keeps getting washed away, you know. This mound here probably formed in 2023. But every year, I wish we had weather like that every year. We need to have more atmospheric rivers, more frequent. But you can see, you know, there is the cucumber vine, and then there's more here. But it's so dense, I can't see any cucumbers that are, you know, larger. But, you know, this is what one of the young spinose things are. There's an iris growing here. This is an iris. It's an iris, but it's growing in the sand. And that looks like a sweet gum seedling. That's a sweet gum seedling. American sweet gum. Liquid amber, styraciflua. Yeah. I love this stuff. Oh my god, what is this? Is that a nightshade that looks like a nightshade? It could possibly be. Oh, it's definitely datura. It's datura. It smells like that sauce from the Mexican restaurant that I was talking about a few videos back. In the creek by my house, or I don't know, but here, this is datura. I don't know how long it will live before it flowers, but maybe I can come down here and see. What is this? Is it a maple? No, it's not. I don't know. There's more datura. There's a lot of datura here. This. What is this? This is an ash. That's an ash seedling. I don't know if it's native. This looks like I don't know. There's a mimosa right there. It's not native. These look like a nightshade actually, but they also kind of look like alder seedlings. They don't really smell. These, I can't tell. Either they're too young to develop the strong foul scent, or it's a different kind of tree. But there's also a Ligustrum oblongifolia here. It's from Korea. It's a privet. There's two of them. And, they don't survive. Only the big, strong cattails that were meant to grow on a riverbed can withstand floods. But everything else just gets uprooted or, broken. But, that's as much as I can go. And, I'll show you what this place looks like later in the year. I don't think it would be as different a month from now. But I gotta get back home. And I gotta check for ticks. And yeah. But, as long as you look out for private property signs and you know where the boundaries are, you can get into places like this and, not be, cited, get a citation for trespassing or whatever it's called. But yeah, be curious, do more research, and, get out there, push boundaries, but don't topple the boundaries over, to learn about the world that is being forgotten about and neglected by society. I mean, maybe next time I could push boundaries and try exploring there are some native willows growing there, and it looks like there's a group of walnut saplings. Look at all the butterflies. Isn't that nice? How many people do you think stop by here on the balcony and just look at the beautiful bog ecosystem that, even though there's not a whole lot of native plants, it's all been taken over by the invasive shit. But who comes here and just enjoys this place? Who comes here and actually even takes photos of this place around the year to see how it changes? And that's what I want to do right here and now. Okay, this looks like Populus deltoides. This does not look like Fremontii, because they have heart-shaped leaves. They don't have like spade or triangle-shaped leaves like this, which are the younger leaves, some more less mature ones. I don't think this is Populus deltoides. Because the leaves, they have a very exaggerated curve in the leaves where the leaf petiole kind of merges into the main flat solar panel. But that is all for today. Thanks for joining me here among the large poplars. Do something green today. I don't know. There's so many things. Go outside. Take a hike. get outside, stop playing video games for just like, at least an hour. Just take a walk and do some research about plants. If you're curious about a plant, you don't have to ask the internet. Like, you don't have to ask social media about it. You can take a picture of it, download iNaturalist, and or go on Wikipedia and just binge on plant research. I mean, even though it may not be right up your alley, a lot of people grow plants. They have no idea what they're growing or how to take care of it. But if they do some research, they're gonna realize, and they're gonna benefit. But that is all for today among the watch poplars, and I will see you next time.